See, I'm going multi-streaming. Got the audio, so the internet just totally sucks. Sorry about that cough. Let me see here. So, this is my, I see both sides here. But, I see both sides of the problem here, and I don't like the extreme right, at the right or the left or anything. I don't like extremists on that. In my view, if all these extremists got together, like put them in a big giant stadium and shot each other off, it would do us a lot better because they're both crazy. You know, I've been talking to people about this and other stuff, and it's like the problem is with both sides is they feel like they have a right to tell us how we should live. They try to brainwash us. They try to tell us, you know, either you have to do stuff by our religious standards, ideology, stuff like that, or you have to be a part of the woke movement, or die, bitch, die. And me, for a lot of people, we hate both sides. We don't like you. We don't respect you. It's like, mind your own fucking business and leave the rest of us alone. There was a time where if you got in people's faces and stuff like that and try to tell them how to live, you get your ass kicked. Rightfully so. You don't just go and tell them, you know, how you're supposed to live, what you should be doing, stuff like that. These are different days, and with YouTube and technology, you have all these opposing sides telling you how you're supposed to live. You know, you're supposed to be conservative, or you're supposed to be an ultra left-wing, woke, or LGBTQ type of thing. For me, it's just like, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. Don't force your dumbass views on us. I ain't gonna force my views on anybody as long as they don't force themselves on me. And I mean, I was watching stuff. I was watching Dr. Disrespect a little bit, and he had all these Charlie Kirk supporters and stuff like that. It really actually pissed me off because I mean, there's some stuff that there's a few things I didn't like about wrestling. I hated him. And freedom of speech is you have the right to hate anybody you want. You have the freedom to even wish, you know, their demise. That's our freedom of speech. It's a human thought. You know, you don't like somebody, you have a right to be that way. You have a right to hate somebody. Trump and them and other people, religious right, is beating the war drums. The left is just causing the left to do it. Either both of these sons of bitches are destroying. Both of these sons of bitches are destroying our country and other countries. I just wish they'd shoot each other off so we can have a peace. It's like they should be put in a stadium where they can just shoot each other off, and then we can all live in peace and happiness. Because I'm sick of both and everything. I hate them both. I have no respect for either one. Don't tell me how to live my life, and don't tell me how I should think. Because you're going to get a big punch in the face or something. You know, it's going to piss me off. It's piss a lot of people off. They don't like that. We all have better things to do than to listen to this crap from both sides. We want to live our lives and just, we want better health insurance. We want better jobs. We want a house to live in or apartment. And instead of coming together for, commonalities, you're supposed to hate each other. And both sides, the religious right and the ultra, extreme left wing stuff like that, the left are just really destroying our country and other countries in Western society. Let's go over some of this.
Again, and today we're going to look at some of the interesting users on, you would never believe it, Blue Sky. That's right. And I don't know how this keeps happening, but yesterday, after Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered, he was shot in the throat, bled out on stage in front of everybody, including his own family and his children.
Right.
The number of people in the games industry who decided to go on to social media, particularly Blue Sky. A lot of these people, you have to understand that many of these people have already been run off of Twitter because there's a level of discourse and negativity that they can't really deal with. So the only place that they can really exist is on effectively.
Why the fuck are you going to Blue Sky? Why don't you just leave them alone? People have a right to hate the guy. There's a lot of stuff I hate the guy about. There's a few things I agree with him on, but there's a lot of stuff I hate him about. If you don't like it, fuck, piss off. I don't care what you or anybody else thinks. I don't. And if you talk a certain way about groups of people, you should expect to be a target. And the thing is, people want to talk and talk shit about other sides and have no, recourse about hate and stuff like that. And that's great if you live in a different world, a different dimension. But it's reality. It's like you go on the streets, you talk a certain way, you talk smack about certain people, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's why you have the internet. Or else you get shot. There's a lot of streamers that, people that talk on YouTube and other streaming sites, they talk smack about somebody, they go to a gas station, they get their head blown off or they get killed. That's the reality. Like I said, if you don't like it, don't talk. Just keep it to yourself, keep it ball up. Talk with your friends, talk with other people. But this is the reality of things. Why are you going to Blue Sky? Because you're trying to fan the flames. You're making things worse, actually. You're creating, you're inciting, you're part of the incitement. And stuff. And he may say, oh, no, I'm not. This is the thing. With the right, with the religious right and the right, they say that, people with LGBT, they're, trans or bisexual or lesbian or gay or whatever. And I got my own opinions about, that stuff and everything. But, they say you have a mental disorder, you have a mental disease, and people, this is the thing that is wrong with the right. And I go after both sides. I hate both, because they're both destroying our countries. Is that, they say, people, in the old days, they'd be put in mental asylums. They're piece of shit parents or families or pastors would have them committed to an institution. So you have the left saying kill them sometimes or shoot them. This is why. They don't want to be put in institutions like they were. They don't want to be called, that mentally ill, etc. And you have Osmond Gold and other people that make fun of them. And there are plenty of people I make fun of too that dress weird. I do. Or dress funny myself. You can make jokes about and everything like that. But if you're talking a certain way about people, Osmond, or other people, you deserve to get hit back. You deserve people to attack you back. That's the way, that's real life. If something happens to you, that's on you. If something happens to me, that's on me. As soon as I go on here, I could be a target. That's real life. Grow the fuck up, kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, oh man. Where I come from, where these kids come from, is too different.
Reservation like Blue Sky, where their opinions are protected and they're allowed to be vitriolic and nobody's allowed to tell them
yeah, they are allowed to. It's called freedom of speech.
that they're wrong. Well, that's why we're making this video. We're going to be looking at some of the different people that
after you're fanning the flames, you create more hate. You're also giving them visibility. You're giving them, all this visibility and warfare. It creates warfare. You're not helping it. You're not helping it one bit.
Death of Charlie Kirk decided to, and I'm not really going to be going through, everybody is going to draw the line at a different place. Here's where I draw the line. I personally have a big problem with people that are celebrating him being killed. I don't have a big deal if somebody says I don't like him or I never liked him or something like that.
Well, the religious right could do the same thing to people on the left and celebrate too. They may not be as open about it. They may not talk about it as much, put it out there like the left does. But, they do. They do off, internet or whatever. And, both sides are to say, haha, you caused this, haha. It's like both sides are blamed for the whole thing. So, you don't like it? Too bad.
But for the people that are celebrating for him being killed, advocating for future violence, and saying that it's a good thing, I think...
But both sides are for that, or they're saying they need to stand up. You have... I want to get to it here. This is one. Yeah, this son of a bitch with this gun and everything. Yeah, you're doing real good, dude. Wow.
What else can be done? For everyone on the left who is celebrating the death of one of our comrades, there's nothing else to call him. Do I look like a person who is scared to fucking fight you?
Well, a lot of people ain't afraid of
None of
you
us
either,
are.
dude.
Over the past couple of days, I have seen some things on the internet that are so heinous. There aren't really...
They have a right to say that.
And that's why this is about, aren't we all done talking? When do we start fighting? No, this isn't some hoorah bullshit. This is pretty damn serious. The left has been celebrating Charlie Kirk being shot. We have people fucking profiting off of the murder of Charlie Kirk by selling t-shirts.
Punk with a camera. This is what he's selling.
Ouch. That is bad. That is bad. That shouldn't be happening. Making profit off that. That I don't like. I don't like that shit. I don't. People have a right to hate the guy and stuff. There's plenty of stuff I hated him on. But that is something I would not. Yeah, I don't like that. Both sides have a right to not like each other. This is a problem that we got in this country. In other countries, is that you have extremists on both sides just fanning the flames. And we have this dumbass here, heavy duty country guy, worked out and everything with his gun, inciting violence and shit.
He's a damn demon.
We got Charlie in the neck. Who's up next? We got Charlie in the neck.
I'm not going to give this any more visibility out like that. I'm not going to give these motherfuckers any more visibility. I don't like either side. It's like I said, both sides are doing it. It's like, and I don't respect either one. I don't. They're just total trash. And it's like, you don't have a right to tell people, whether it's the religious right or the left, to be telling us people, give this motherfucker a thumbs down. What a piece of shit he is too, as well. But big deal. You got a gun, so what? You're just as bad as other people. You know, taunting people and inciting. He's definitely inciting. That mofo is. You know, he's got, you know, this gun and everything else comes out with this gun. Look at this. Look at that. He comes out. And everything. He's ready to use it. Oh, wow, dude, you're big. Wow, dude. The problem with, man, this is what's wrong, dude. The other people, back when I remember a time when, you know, people just did whatever they want. And this is a big problem. A lot of it is when the religious people say that others are mentally ill and stuff like that, and you have the left with their issues, say, well, everybody needs to conform to our ideas, or you should be dead, or you're a terrible person, or ignored, and stuff like that. It's just both sides are trash and everything. I hate both sides.
If you had to choose between, if you could only pick one, marriage or career, which would you choose?
This is, I mean, a dumb thing. I mean, I hate the whatever podcast. I mean, piece of shit people. Is that they'd get these young girls that don't have much upstairs and stuff like that. They'd have it fixed. They'd have these podcasts fixed a certain way. And they'd go off on, you know, girls that did Onlyfans, belittle them, and say guys weren't interested then if they did nude, and it's just.
If you had to choose, can we do that?
Yeah, can I add one thing? So is it great, amazing career or beautiful, healthy family?
That's correct.
Okay, that was.
If you had to choose, now you can have both in life, but if you could only pick one,
I would say marriage.
Marriage.
Yes, you can.
The healthy family.
Family.
Marriage.
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 Can
I answer the other question?
yeah, of course, yeah.
So I actually want to back him up on, you know, you're not really in your prime once you turn 30. I know I got married at age 23. I mean, I was pretty. I was an athlete. Married the wrong guy. Became obese.
That's you. That's your story. It's not every other one. It's like these podcasts, dumb podcasts from the whatever podcasts. I swear, idiots on there.
Oof, yeah.
Know
Not
nothing
now,
about
obviously.
relationships.
But yeah, once I divorced him after I turned 30, the dating pool was vastly smaller.
Well, thank you for defending me. I could have used you a couple months ago. So
I'm in Phoenix, so.
no, that's right. We
she's
should
just one
talk.
case.
No, and the last question that I'll ask is, I want you to think about it. If every single one of you said marriage, are you making deliberate steps every day to get closer to that goal, or are you making steps to get closer to the career goal?
Career.
Starting with you, go ahead.
Because I believe that in a marriage, since you're coming together as a contractual agreement, I do want to provide.
That's the thing God, idiocy. Marriage is not a contract. It's a meeting of the minds, of the bodies and souls. All that together. It's love. And these idiots, you know, that say that people don't even know what love is. They have no idea what love is whatsoever. The religious right, I mean, people that are religious, stuff like that, a lot of guys like, you know, Islam and stuff like that, or a lot of them just want a bitch to do their bidding in the kitchen and make their food, do their stuff while they do work or whatever, but some of them just want women to be their bitches and stuff. And me, I can't stand a woman that you know, does so much stuff for me or that really looks up to me and idolizes me. I know, because I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of issues too. And it's like me, I don't want anything to do with stupid relationships anymore. It's just ridiculous the way things are. But marriage is not a contract. It's where two people become one, or a group of people, whatever. Become, I mean, do whatever the fuck you want. Fuck everybody else. That's what I say.
To a certain extent, just in case my husband can't, I am going towards a career.
Okay.
At the moment.
Yeah. No, and I only ask just, and again, we don't have to go on the horn. I think it's important, though, to answer your question. Far too often, we do not tell young ladies, if you have to prioritize one more than the other, would you rather have your tombstone say, CEO of a shoe company, or loving mother of 3 children and a wife? And if you would rather have loving mother
I still would want both on there, and they have a right to say, they can have a good job and do both. It's almost impossible to be able to do both. And it's like, with so many women that I know, to want to get that work in, and then have kids, family, and I think that, that's up to them. The stupid, more religious people want them, in the kitchen, be their bitch and stuff like that. It just, I mean, there's ladies like that and stuff like that. It's up to them. But if they want to have family, kids, that's up to them. Just do what you want. And you shouldn't have some religious quacks telling you how you should live your life.
Of 3 children and a wife, then you should prioritize that more in your early 20s than your career or going to college. Because the tragedy is there are far more single early 30-something women in this country than married 30-something women in this country. It's the fertility rate's the lowest ever been, marriage rate's the lowest ever been.
So what if it is? The way society is, the way that our countries are, Western society, it's good there's less kids. In the shitty society that we have. It's a fact. People may not like it or not, because you play with not like what I said, but a lot of people that I have talked to before said they would not want to raise their kids in the way that this country and some of the other countries are today. How society, Western society especially, is. It's just, and some of them, talk about their own kids turning on them and disrespect. It's like, you don't want to have kids in the way society is today.
And it's because we
tell... I have this problem with religious people. They only see women as reproductive producers, as potential baby makers and stuff like that. And that's the way they want women. And this is how, they're brainwashed a lot of women and stuff like that. And it pisses me off. It's like if a woman wants to have kids that do work, leave that to them. But don't have, quacks say, we need to have kids, just need to get in the kitchen and bear kids. Leave that up to them and stuff. And they have these podcasts totally fixed and stuff. They have a lot of girls there who don't have much upstairs. They don't have the smartest ones. They have women out there with a fixed story. They need to fix some of them so the people and everything. So
young ladies, you can wait forever to do this, and that's not the case for everybody. It's the case for some people, but not the case for everybody, and I think it's a tragedy.
I think while even you have a family, you should...
I'm trying here, man.
Even when you have a family, you should still have like what happens when the kids are done and they graduate and they move on out of the nest? What does a woman do then?
Grandkids.
Does a woman just take care of? Well, that's assuming
That-
In this society, usually kids turn against their parents or whatever. I disrespect what that kids have in Western society is sickening and appalling a lot of times. Whereas, China, Japan, stuff like that, older people are revered, looked up to, and stuff like that. I saw it with my own parents. I was a piece of shit to them a bit as well. And I took care of them. It's just how stupid kids can be total pieces of shit to their parents later on in life. And they're not at all thankful for what their parents have given them. This is the problem with Western society, with that.
That's a really smart question, though. In fact, we are doing everything the opposite. We should say focus on family formation in your early 20s, then go to college in your late 30s.
Sure. But what if you marry
Because college will always be there. No, that's a very fair point. Love and life come with a huge risk.
Sure.
But the greater risk is dying alone.
Well, you don't need to be married to have a happy life, you dunce. This is the thing that pisses me off. This is where the right says you need to have marriage, and they only see women as procreators and baby makers. And that pisses me off. That does. I mean, I grew up with mostly women my entire life. So it's like how I see things, where a lot of guys I know, grew up around guys. So how I see things and how they see things is different, this stuff. But he is right. He is right, though, where it's like you only have a limited time in your 20s, and there is a cutoff time to how long a woman can have a baby and stuff like that. But it's like, die alone. What the fuck is this dumbass talking about? I mean, you're not going to be alone. You have friends. You have other people to talk to. This dumbass saying you're going to die alone and all sort of shit. I mean, there was plenty of beefs that I had with him. There was some stuff I agree with him on when it came, to race and stuff like that. But, anyways, people have a right to say what they want about both sides and stuff. It's terrible how both sides are. I hate them both. They should just go into a place and off each other. And this world will be a much better place without both sides fucking things up for everybody else. And everything. Me and some of the other people, it's like, why don't you guys know just mind your own fucking business? There's certain things that, need to be talked about and stuff like that. But when it comes, to, LGBTQ stuff, I believe it should only be 21 for a person to change. And OnlyFans stuff, you're not going to go to hell for doing OnlyFans. A lot of religious idiots, they're dumb and stupid and think you're going to hell for that. No, you're not. You have to be pure evil to go to hell. You do. And everything. And it's maddening on both sides. There is some stuff that, definitely you have a right to talk about. You should have a right to talk about and everything, but, on some stuff, you trigger people, and you gotta be a target. I would be a target. People are to be a target. It's what you gotta. You're living in a different reality. If you think that you can just that goes for either side or whatever. There are people that are going to hate you, hate me, and there are others. This stuff. You know, it was usually don't do videos like this because people deserve their peace right after, you know, they're killed or dead. This is the only time that I think I've done it. And I mean, I go after, you know, rich and powerful people and attack them. He was very powerful. The reason why he was killed is because he is a very powerful person. And they didn't like him having all that power. You know, your tongue is the most powerful weapon. Your gun is, and he had millions of followers. Still does. You know, turn people or whatever. And it's just ridiculous how both sides have gone for, you know, back in my day, you can say whatever you want pretty much. But now you have both sides are just mentally ill or badly placed. They'll say, you gotta think this way, you gotta act this way, do this way. And government needs to shut the fuck up. Politicians need to be put in their place. You know, there was a time when politicians were afraid of people rising up their guilty. They shouldn't be afraid of that. It's just people mind their own business more. You know, they did. Now they like to be in everybody's business and tell other people how they should have to do things, and everything's just ridiculous. I mean, that's just me. You know, it's that both sides are creating this hate. And it's like I said, it went back there, just got checking different screens here. And you have the right dating person or celebrate. The thing is, like the cost of the news going back place, both sides are creating this hate. And I hate both sides. Being so many other people I talk to. It's like, just be you, do you. You know? And fuck everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when it happens time to time, somebody gets killed or something happens, both sides are to rejoice. And, you know, it's called being human. It's having to emotions, it's human emotion. It's a natural thing. You know, people hate people for different reasons and stuff like that. You know, if you don't like it, you're in the wrong place. Ignore it, block them, whatever. God, I remember a much better time when, you know, technology is really, that's these politicians, non-government organizations, you know, you have billionaires, paid news companies to promote a certain agenda, philosophy, ideology, and it's like, I have freedom to say what I want, people have freedom to say what they want, and they hate about whoever, about me or whoever else. That's part of America, too. This is also part of being human. So I mean, like I said, Austin isn't about to go to blue sky and family place. It's already bad enough. And both sides say, hey, we fight, we need to stand up for each trying to build commonalities. You know, like better health care, better social programs, better jobs, getting rid of a lot of artificial intelligence, and, you know, being able to afford a house, you know, independent living, insurance costs, you know, getting rid of a lot of taxes that we have, and how the government pretty much is taking all our money and everything else, all this other stuff. It's like a big diversion. All this like a big diversion that they create because you have politicians that don't want to do the job they're supposed to and help the people. Instead, they blame everything else on the other side. This is big diversion. And, you know, instead of doing what they're supposed to, you know, all they do is like